Say louder. Walid. Okay. And where are you from? Where do you live? What do you do? Skokie. Okay. Okay. And then right now, are you a student? Are you working? Or?
No, I go to Nalsa.
I go to Nalsa. Okay. What year are you? Or will you be? The BS teacher? Okay, very nice, very nice.
I got into Bill.
Nabil?
Brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to Oakland.
Oakland, okay, okay. And what are you studying? What do you plan to study?
Engineering.
Engineering, very good.
My name is Hamza. I go to Nalsa as a junior, and I live in Skokie. Yeah.
Well, so you're going to be engineer?
Yeah.
Have you been there for those sessions where I was there? Because I was going once a month to the QS group.
I
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, everyone else here? Yes, yes, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Shadab, I live in Wilmette. I'm an engineer.
Okay. All right, very good. Today, I'm guessing we will probably finish by 8 o'clock at the latest. So we'll probably finish early. Most of the time, we will not go to 8:30. We'll go. We'll end early. Very rarely will we go all the way to 8:30.
What is the official time for Asr prayer on the schedule? Is it 5:30 or?
Hanafi school, the time for Asr prayer these days is about 6:08 or something.
6:08?
Yeah. The other schools, it's 5 something.
Yeah. I was wondering if we could pray before coming here, like I prayed before.
I mean, that's fine with me if we want to do.
That way we can just continue,
Okay. Would you like to do that? Meaning.
It's up to the people,
So next week, Asr prayer will probably be around probably 6:15. Right? Should we do Asr first, and then start class? We can start class at 6:30. Should we do that? What do you think? You might give everyone else more time to get here. That's fine with me.
Sometimes, break me fresh.
So you're saying it's a good idea to have a break anyway? Okay. Okay. So you prefer to have a break? Okay. Then let's take a vote. Okay. The vote is not binding. Who would like to start at 6 p.m.? Raise your hand.
So like now?
No, 6 p.m. So next week. So the way we are like today, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Who would like to start at the 6:20? No, nobody. Okay, so I guess we'll continue as we were, inshallah. Yeah. The break is nice, so inshallah next week we'll have refreshments. Okay, good. Next week. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulih al-Kareem. So we were discussing at the beginning of Al-Baqarah, this introduction to the whole surah, this introduction to the Qur'an. The first thing that we are told, after Alif Lam Mim, is about the people of Taqwa. So the way the book is organized, the book is telling us that our target is to be like the people of Taqwa, to be the people of Taqwa. And what did it say in Ayah 2? Looking back at Ayah 2, it said that this book is guidance for those who have Taqwa. And then we have these 6 attributes of those who have Taqwa. And then Ayah 5 says, these people have guidance. Okay? Or these people, on them is guidance, or they're on the path of guidance. So this book is guidance for those who have Taqwa. Those who have Taqwa have these 6 attributes. Those people who have these 6 attributes have guidance. But they also have success. What is success here? How would you answer this question? Success is what everyone wants in some capacity.
Maybe Jannah.
Okay, so one success here is Jannah. What else is success?
To see God.
Okay, so even better, within Jannah, for some people it's one and the same, is to see Allah, whatever that will mean on the Day of Judgment. Allah knows best, right? What about in dunya? Will these people have success in dunya? Here, it's not limited only to akhirah. Success also in dunya. What does it mean to have, for a person of taqwa to have success in dunya? What will that person have? What do you think the person who's fulfilling all of these attributes will have? Raise your hand.
I was going to say, yeah, peace of mind.
Peace of mind is probably a very big point. Right? Contentment. You understand how the world works. Satisfaction is a good word, you know. You'll be pleased with Allah. I mean, for those of you who are in high school, those of us who are old fogies can tell you that, you know, the teenage years are this tornado period. When you're in your 20s, it's an even weirder tornado, because now you're being thrown into the world as an adult. When you're 30, then you begin to enjoy life, because you realize there are a lot of things you don't have to worry about. When you're 40, there's even less things that you have to worry about. I mean, there's other things you're supposed to be worried about, or maybe you should be. But with taqwa, what are we saying? That the person of taqwa understands how things work. And thus, the person of taqwa is not worried about a lot of things that other people are worried about. Think about this, especially in our society. I had cable, like my parents my whole life would never get cable. You know, they'd never let me watch cable, right? And many of you probably had the same experience. And then, in my adult life, I needed cable modem, so I finally got cable. I got very excited. And then every time I started turning on the cable news, CNN, Fox News, what have you, I felt like the world was going to end. It's like all these images are exploding in your face, right? Breaking news, something crazy is about to happen. Breaking news again, something crazy is about to happen. And I think all of you understand what I'm saying, that when you turn on the news, especially cable news, it's just in your face telling you that the whole world is going to collapse, right? This is... I think it's impossible, almost impossible, to live in this society and not be afraid. I think if you're living in this society, if you have television, if you have cable, you're going to be afraid. And especially if we think about the Tea Party and these groups, these Tea Parties, you know, that on the surface sound like a bunch of dimwits, they don't know what they're doing, but what is at the core for a lot of people in the Tea Party? They're afraid. Their leaders who don't have their best interest in mind, what are they saying? Okay, these people are out to destroy us, those people are out to destroy us, everything is going to get destroyed. And so these people are trusting them. And because of their fear. What do we say to the people of taqwa? They have nothing to fear, right? Nor shall they grieve. So the point here is that the success of the people in akhirah, or the people of taqwa, includes akhirah as well as dunya. And if you have that satisfaction, that success, I think it's something that people throughout the country would wish they had. The next topic, ayah 6 and 7. We're only going to introduce this, and then we might go through the whole thing, but I don't think we will. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. Now your translation says, as for those who disbelieve. Someone read the rest of the translation. Walid, why don't you read us the whole translation of ayahs 6 and 7. Whichever one is Walid and Nabil, right? Okay. Walid.
It makes no difference whether you warn them or not, they will not believe. Ayah 7 is God has sealed their hearts and their ears and their eyes are covered. They will have great torment.
Okay, so as for those who disbelieve, whether you warn them or do not warn them, they will not believe. It makes no difference. Allah has sealed off their eyes and their ears and their hearts, and they're doomed. But we have this word kafir. Inna ladhina kafir. Inna ladhina kafir. Do you need water or anything? Can we get water?
No,
Inna ladhina kafiru. Literally, the translation more accurately is those who have rejected. But the word kafir, it does something even deeper than this. Kafir is not the same as non-Muslim. Understand this point. That kafir is not the same as non-Muslim. What is a kafir? Literally, the root is the same word that speaks of a farmer who's planting a seed and covers up the seed with soil. What is a kafir in our context? A kafir is someone who feels compelled to turn to Allah. Inside they feel compelled. Something inside them is making them turn to Allah. No one else is making them. Something inside is making them turn to Allah, and they suppress it. They block it. They cover it up. Yes?
Is that really their fault, though?
Is that their fault? That part we'll get to in just a moment. So, the question is it their fault? Here, a kafir is someone who is willfully doing it. So think back when we think of the biography of the Prophet, peace be upon him. What was Abu Jahl, what was his complaint against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his message? Why did Abu Jahl oppose the Prophet, peace be upon him? Did he have a problem with Tawheed?
Breaking tradition.
And even more than breaking tradition, he had a complaint.
He didn't like his lineage. He didn't think he was worthy of the message, or he just couldn't follow it.
Well, he felt that Rasulullah, peace be upon him, wanted his family to become the leaders of the Quraysh. Because what did Abu Jahl used to do at night? He would listen to the Prophet, peace be upon him, reciting the Qur'an. At least one night, he is there outside listening to the Prophet, peace be upon him, reciting Qur'an. Who was the other person? I believe it was Abu Sufyan. They understood the Qur'an. They understood the message. But Abu Jahl's complaint had nothing to do with Tawheed as far as we know. It didn't have anything to do with the Qur'an itself. He was skeptical of, or he was accusing the Prophet, peace be upon him, of wanting to make his family become the dominant family in Quraysh. What is a kafir? A kafir is someone who feels compelled to turn to Allah, and they suppress it. Abu Jahl appreciated the Qur'an. So keep this point in mind. The kafir is not the same as non-Muslim, because we don't know if a non-Muslim has had that experience. We don't know if a non-Muslim has felt compelled to turn to Allah and said no. So what are we saying here? Kufr is a condition of the heart. That's why kafir is not the same as non-Muslim. Now there are behaviors of kufr, which we might get to later on. You know, someone who's attacking people just because they believe in Allah, we might call that a behavior of kufr. But what is the key point to take here? Kafir does not equal non-Muslim. So what is kafir? One who has rejected. Or one who rejects.
Could you tell again what you said before, try to suppress or compel?
Okay. So, let's say, A'udhu Billah, I'm a non-Muslim, and something inside me makes me want to turn to Allah.
Something inside him, not some from outside.
Right, inside. Right. And I say, no, I'm not going to do it. I mean, this is a small example. Think about all those times you felt like doing a good deed and you don't let yourself do it. Right? I should help this person. No, I'm not going to do it. This is someone who feels compelled to turn to Allah, and they say no, they don't let themselves do it. That is a kafir.
How about like people that say they're Muslims, like me,
Okay.
or all of us? You know, we believe La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, but that, you know, we feel compelled to believe it, but there are a lot of things that we may not necessarily do.
Okay, very, very good
For
question.
example, pray.
Okay. So the question here is, what if I'm someone who identifies as Muslim, who believes, but I don't do everything I'm supposed to do? I think that probably describes every single person on the planet, right? Every person on the planet does commit sins. That's every believer, you know, at least at an Islam level, commits sins, and for that we seek forgiveness. That does not make you a kafir. Next week, inshallah, we'll get to the people who are sort of the mix of the people of taqwa and the people of kufr, the hypocrites. So stay tuned. That's a cliffhanger, right? I'll put it like this: for all the things that I don't do, you know, that I'm supposed to do, I should still seek forgiveness. Okay? All the things that I do that I'm not supposed to do, I should at the very least seek forgiveness. Okay? Automatically, that puts me in a very different league than most people. These are people. Think of these are people who feel compelled to turn to Allah, and they're preventing that. This is not the same as someone who, I know I should pray, but I just don't have the willpower. That's different. See what I'm saying? Somebody else was raising, Brother Bashir, were you raising your hand?
No, I'm just,
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay, so does everybody understand this key point? Kafir is not the same as a non-Muslim. Kafir feels compelled to turn to Allah, and that they suppress that. Now, everybody has this compulsion at some point. We believe that everybody is born on fitrah. Did we speak about the fitrah last time? I don't know if we did or not. We believe that everyone is born pure. Everyone is born with some sort of consciousness of Allah. Everybody has this. In some way, everyone is born with a connection to Allah. Everyone is born with some sort of consciousness of right and wrong. Okay. We believe that everyone innately, intuitively, instinctively knows right from wrong. But we also believe that everyone is corruptible. Right? What does the Rasulullah, peace be upon him, tell us? Everyone is born on fitrah, but then it's their parents who make them Jewish, Christian, etc. Right? The hadith is not everyone is born out as Muslim. Everyone is born on fitrah. But you are also purifiable. So if you've lost this connection, it can still be fixed. Okay. So what are we saying? At one level, everyone has a connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but as you're being raised in society, that connection can really get corrupted. And that's an issue that we have in our society. A lot of people in our society are essentially agnostic. They don't know. They don't know, is there Allah, is there not Allah? I teach this class right now. I'm teaching this undergraduate class, Introduction to the Qur'an in the university, 25 students, and I asked them, we were having a discussion about belief in God, and one person said, okay, everybody in the class who is not sure, raise your hand. And almost everybody in the class raised their hand. Right? Out of 25 students, maybe 23 students said, I'm not sure. Okay. Is there a God, is there not? Okay. That's part of the nature of the society that we're in. So the point I'm making related to your question, Hamza, the people who we call kafir are people who are willfully choosing to do so. Okay? But many people in our society might not even have that compulsion because they've gotten so corrupted through society. Now, I'll tell you what, this whole discussion on ayah 6 and 7, we're going to stop right here actually. I'm going to merge it with our discussion next week of the hypocrites. But the key point I wanted you to take for today is this concept of the kafirs. Next week, a question that I want you to think about, if you look at ayah 6, okay, in ayah 6, they are the ones who made the choice. Okay. They've rejected, so if you warn them, do not warn them, they're not going to believe. In ayah 7, it says Allah sealed them off. So, how does this work? Okay, they rejected. Ayah 7, Allah sealed them. So here's the question to think about for next week, inshallah. Did they reject because Allah sealed them off? Or they rejected, then in response, Allah sealed them off? Okay. This is a question to think about for next week that we'll discuss at the beginning of class. So, it's as though I'm asking, are they making the choice, or is Allah making the choice? Is Allah choosing that these people rejected, these people will reject, or is Allah responding? Now keep in mind, some of us are going to say they rejected, and that's why Allah sealed them off. But we also believe that Allah controls everything. That Allah controls every one of our hearts. So is Allah controlling everything?
Allah is merciful also.
So on the flip side, Allah is merciful. So this will be our discussion for next week. But think about this over the course of this next week. To recap the assignments, the assignments are still the same as next week. Number one, hopefully everyone has now received a Qur'an translation. So doing 20 ayahs a day, please underline every single time there is a mention of Allah. You know, where every time it says God or He or we, capital We, or attributes of Allah, underline all those. Second, spend a little bit of time of your day thinking about the mercies that you have in your life. Preferably do that on paper or in a notebook. List 5 new mercies each day in your life. And the point is to help condition the way we think about things. Okay. The last, please make sure that everyone registers, as well as make sure everybody signs in. And you can talk to Sharaf about that. Sharaf, in case you don't know who Sharaf is by now. It's him.
Fine.
Right. And with that, that is all I have for today. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.